Welcome, everybody. This is Jason, and the name of this week's workshop is The Other Side of the Door. This is part two of a start to finish workshop about building doors and windows. So let's jump right in. What makes doors and windows different from regular objects? Windows have separate north and south GMDC. That's one component for each side of the wall. Single tile doors have four. In addition to the door frame, that's a static part of the mesh. They have door north and door south, which swing open. What else should I know going in? Doors have multiple OBJD. So if you're used to building just regular deco objects, this might be a bit of news to you. You need to create a GID for each of those OBJD or it won't work properly. Also, doors have a wall mask. This is sort of it's a special texture that lets the wall know what part is cut out for the door. How do we finish building our doors? In Object Workshop, we clone a Maxis door straight. We know that it's straight because this is the one with the thumbnail. We click Next. We clone the object. We rename the object in Scene Graph Workshop Wizard. We click Update. We click OK, and we save it just as we normally would. Then we go to our OBJD. For each OBJD, we need to assign it a new GID. We replace the TXTR as we normally would. Up to this point, it's just building a regular object. We select the GMDC in the resource tree, and we select the first one, the one that says door frame north in the resource list. We click that import button. Then we import, because this is the frame, we only want the frame north component from the object that we built last week. So for the other 5 components, we select nothing in the group settings dropdown. The action dropdown in the group settings section. And for frame north, we select replace. That's going to replace surfaces. We do the same for frame south. Then for door north, we replace surfaces with the actual wood part. We replace brass with bars north. Then for door south, we do the same thing. We replace brass with bars south, and we replace the actual wood component surfaces with door south. We're replacing the mesh in all 4 of the GMDC. When we're done replacing it, we give it a quick preview. It should look something like this. Last thing, in the straight door, we select any of the SHPE. Okay, in this case, I selected the SHPE for one of the doors because it has both the door and brass materials. We copy the names of the door and brass materials, just like so, and we paste them to a notepad because we're going to use those for the diagonal door. Then the diagonal door. So we go back to Object Workshop. We select value wood lumbers just a door. This time we're selecting the diagonal. That's the one that doesn't have the thumbnail. We rename the diagonal in the Scene Graph Wizard. We click Update. We click OK. We save it just as we normally would. We select the OBJD. For each OBJD, we assign a new GID. For the TXCR, we're going to replace the wall mask texture. I've included that in the resource post. We select the GMDC. We start with door frame north, and we're replacing it with exactly the same components as we did with the straight door. As an example of what we did before, for the frame north, we use replace on the frame north from the mesh we're importing, and for the other 5 components, we just select nothing in the action dropdown. We select the SHPE in the resource tree, and then door frame north in the resource list, like so. We copy the surfaces material name from the notepad, and we just paste over what's already in the text box. So we're replacing the diagonal with the straight, like so that it's referencing the straight doors SHP. Basically here we're repoing the diagonal to the straight. We do the same thing with all of the SHPE. Then we select the GMND in the resource tree, and we start with door frame north in the dropdown. We go to TS materials mesh name, and we copy the subset names. For example, in surfaces, it links to door value. We would replace that with the name of our surfaces subset minus the underscore white from our straight door. We do the same thing for the brass. We just replace that with the name of the brass material from our straight door. We just paste the crest name like so for both of those components. We're doing this for all of our GMND. As a final step, we open a separate instance of SimPE. We open the straight door in one, we open the diagonal door in the other. We go to the OBJD in the resource tree, and we want the master OBJD, that's the one without the components after it, in the resource list. We start with the straight door. We take our GID for the master, we copy that, we move that to, we paste that into the grid align GID text box in the diagonal doors master OBJD. Then we copy the GID from the diagonal. We paste that into the diagonal GID text box of the straight doors OBJD. We commit, we save, and those should be linked properly. To test that these are linked properly in game, we will put the straight door on a straight wall and then the diagonal door on a diagonal wall. And if they're linked correctly, the diagonal door should spawn on the diagonal wall. So any questions on the presentation part?
Okay. So when you were talking about repoing, I was wondering, would the repo wizard do anything like that with the diagonals on the doors? Or is that not for build pieces kind of? I guess I've never actually used the repo wizard, but I know it exists.
I can't speak to that because you have 4 different SHPE. I'm not sure
Uh,
if Repo Wizard is set up to recognize doors and windows at this point.
Okay. And then, my other question was, when you're in CP, is all diagonals for build items missing thumbnails? Is that how you know?
Sorry, once more?
Like, the diagonals, you said it didn't have a thumbnail. Is that, like, the case for most diagonals in SimP when you're in the object workshop? Like, they just don't have thumbnails?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So that's how you tell.
I mean, for me, it was like a trial and error thing, but you can mostly intuit which one is diagonal because it doesn't have a thumbnail. So this is the mesh that we built last week. We got 2 groups and all of the components are labeled clearly. So we just go File. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Door with bars final. File, export, wavefront object. Door with bars final. And window with bars final. Okay, so we've got the mesh to work with. Close out of milkshape. And we open our SimPE. We go to Object Wizard. And let's look for value with lumbers, just a door to get started. Next. We clone. Don't mess with any of the settings. Workshop door straight. And just so I don't lose track of it, I'm going to put 350. And Then we go finish. Door with bars dash workshop. Oh, and then dash straight. We click update. We click OK. Workshop door straight. Then we switch to our plugin view. Go to our OBJD. We go to the master OBJD in the resource list. And hold up, I am going to pull up my GID spreadsheet. I'm just going to grab this GID that I was using for the experimental object. So if you're following along at home, just go ahead and generate GIDs as you normally would. I'm just using my spreadsheet for simplicity. We make 169, we make 16A, and we make 16B. We commit, and we save. Okay, then we go to our TXTR. We select the first one, the one that says straight white, and we just replace that with door wood. I've provided all of the materials that you need in the resource post if you're following along. And this here is a shadow. I don't mess with shadows, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. This, the door green, this is the material that we use for the metal. So we just add that metal swatch. The diagonal is going to have a wider or a narrower wall mask than the straight. So if we know that's the diagonal, we replace it with the diagonal. This is the straight wall mask. So we replace it with the narrower one like that. And then this, I just go by white and narrow. And then this, we replace it with the narrower one like that. Okay, so we replace the textures, we replace the wall masks. Before we get too much further into it, let's look at the TXMT. So straight brass. Okay, I see what's going on here. So this is linking to the green. Categorize properties. This is a little bit shiny, and I want the bars to be a little bit less shiny. So I'm going to go like 15, 15, 15. Okay, then we go to the GMDC. Go to door frame north GMDC. And I don't love that wall shadow, so I'm going to get rid of a wall shadow. Wait, import door with bars final. So frame south, nothing, bars north, nothing, bars south, no, nothing, door south, nothing, frame north. I'm going to do add because I just want to make sure that I'm replacing it on the right side of the wall. And then door north, nothing. So we can see that this just goes over and around. So yeah, that is named correctly. So we delete surfaces. Yeah, we change that to surfaces. Give that a quick preview. And that's how it should look. Then door frame south. Get rid of that wall shadow. Door with bars final. And then here, frame south, let's go ahead and replace surfaces because we know it's named correctly now. And then everything else is nothing. So we're only using frame south. And as William pointed out in the last workshop, this is a very low poly object. There are 28 polys in this object, but if you're concerned about poly count, you could delete the north faces of the south frame and the south faces of the north frame. I'm not super concerned because it's very low poly, but do what you want. So this is the door rot GMDC. We're not really doing anything with this. We're just getting rid of the ground shadow. So here, this is door south. I don't know why they're ordered that way, but we need to make sure that we're only adding door and bars for the south side. So frame south, nothing. Bars north, nothing. Bars south replaces door value underscore brass. Door south replaces surfaces. And then frame north, nothing. Door north, nothing. And what does that look like? It looks pretty good. I think I see an issue though. But we go to the final GMDC here, the one that says door north. So we don't need frame south. Bars north replaces door value brass. Bars south does nothing. Door south, nothing. Frame north replace surfaces. And door north, nothing. Oh, did I mess up? Yeah, I messed up. Let me do that again. I added, so door south, nothing. Or frame south, nothing. Bars north, replace brass. Bars south, nothing. Door south, nothing. Frame north, nothing. And door north, replace surfaces. Okay, not a big deal. We just made a small mistake. There it is. Give that a quick save. And then go back to the TXMT. And we go to straight brass. Yeah, see, it's picking up a little bit of gold. So to get rid of that gold, just go to any color, just give it kind of just a neutral gray. So that's our straight door. Let's do a diagonal door. So value what lumbers just a door without the thumbnail. Go next. Next. Oh, I messed up, but it's fine. We just go back from Object Workshop to the plugin view. Go back to the shape. And let's grab one that has the door. So start a new tab. This is for surfaces. And this is the name for the material name for door. Oh, it's door value underscore brass. Just like that. So we need those for when we repo the diagonal door. So we call that workshop door diagonal. We keep the price the same. Ah, what happened? Came undocked for some reason. Finish. Workshop door final. And we save that as workshop door diagonal. It. We go back to our plugin. We start with the git. Go to door test 2, and that starts with C. So we're going to replace the git here with C and D. Or if you're following along at home, just use gid, any gid that you just generate the git as you normally would. Okay, so we commit those. Give that a quick save. Then we go to the txtr. All we're doing here is replacing. We don't need this because we're repoing it. And here, build DXT, and we just use that wide wall mask. I think it's basically the same wall mask. So we go to SHPE. We select the frame. We don't do anything with the wall shadow. We copy surfaces. We paste surfaces in the material definition file text box, just like so. Door frame south. We do the same thing. We delete wall shadow. And we replace just like so. And then this one, we just have ground shadow. We don't need that. We can delete that text. And then surfaces. This is the actual door. We replace surfaces here. And we copy the name of this brass material. We paste it over like that. And we grab the very last one. We do the same thing because I already had the brass copied. I just paste it like that. And we copy here and we paste here. That's the SHPE. Now we have to mess with the GMND. So we go to the GMND. We got the first one in the resource list. We go to TS Materials Mesh Name. We don't need wall shadow. For surfaces, this is important. We copy everything before the underscore. And we just paste it like so. It's because it's referencing the crest. Actually, just to be on the safe side, let me get that a quick save. Just copy the crest name right from the source. And we go back to the GMND. Just make sure that we're getting that crest name right. No, that's not it. Because it has to have the prefix as well. And go on to door frame south. And we do the same thing. We replace the crest name on surfaces. And we're not using ground shadow. Now here, because this, we're missing a string. So we go to the string dropdown, we add, because in addition to surfaces, we're also repoing the door value brass subset. So we just do one of these, paste that there. And I know there are easier ways to do this, like Scene Graph Plus, but I want to demonstrate how to do it the old school way. So we paste the crest name, and then we go back and we copy door value brass, and we paste that to the new string. Okay, that's our window, or our door, sorry. Going to crack open a separate instance of SimPE. What we're going to do, we're going to link this straight to the diagonal. So we open the straight door here. Then we go to the OBJD. We select the one that doesn't have coordinates. That's our master. We copy that there. We alt tab over to the diagonal, and we make sure that we've got the master selected. So our grid align GID, we paste the straight doors master GID value there, and we copy the diagonal GID's master value, and we commit that. Yeah, we bounce back over to the straight door. We paste over the diagonal GID, and we commit, and we save, and we save the diagonal door as well. So we're 100% done with the door. So this is our door. And that's our door on a diagonal wall. You can see that it's linked correctly. And let's have a look at our window. Okay, that's weird. I think I might not have renamed the bars correctly on one. There it is. They're all complaining for some reason. Okay, so straight door is working.
Jugalara y todo lo.
Walls up. And diagonal doors working too. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I will ever release these as a set. They're based on my mead hall doors and windows, but I just threw some little bars in there. Something is up with the windows. I'm not quite sure what's happening, but I might test that later. But that's pretty much it. That's how you make doors and windows.